Berserk is a manga with a storied history, and it's one of my favorite of all time, so I wanted to discuss it and my favorite elements of the series. First, I have to say the characters are great because of the way Kentaro Miura puts very real feelings and real ideas into the characters. It makes you feel really invested into the story and each character's progression throughout such story. As Guts, the main character, progresses throughout the story, you can definitely see the impact of different experiences, not just through Guts but other characters as well. Feelings of jealousy, anger, defeat, sadness, betrayal are all very heavy themes that do get covered in Berserk throughout the series. Now, just these ideas would be quite lonesome as they're pretty negative, but it also goes through how people recover from those feelings and the negative impact on one's health and mentality via such emotions. To me, what makes a good story isn't necessarily a happy-go-lucky, a power trip, or even a romance story. It's, to me, a story that goes through a person's hardships, a person's life, for them to slowly progress into either a better person, achieve what they want through such hardships. This is why I love Berserk, because it really just displays that aspect of life. Even though it's not set in reality, there's a lot of things that you can take away, a lot of ideas that you can take from Berserk and apply them to your life to make your life better, or just to think about, you know? You don't always have to change everything that you do, but it's always good to think about things that you can do better. Now, another theme that Berserk goes through that's very heavy is leaving yourself vulnerable. Throughout the series, Guts himself leaves himself vulnerable and it comes back to bite him. This element comes down to who you trust and recovering from the betrayal of people who you trust. Now, this vulnerability, whether you decide to keep it open or keep it closed, I think the best thing to take away is choose who you trust, be selective, don't do stuff willy-nilly. Now, the cultural influence of Berserk cannot be understated. Things like the big sword trope, and a lot of the dark fantasy stuff that comes out today can be directly related to some of Berserk's influence. The Dark Souls series, Elden Ring, and Bloodborne, which are games that I very much enjoy, are directly inspired by Berserk. You can even see direct references. In Elden Ring, an example is one of the character classes is, well, representative of one of the characters in the series. You'll find out if you read the manga. Also find it funny how they're very, very similar in terms of tone. Berserk's about going through hardship, and the Souls series is also about going through hardship to enjoy your success. Now, the art is also something to write home about. It's great, that's all I have to say. Berserk was a slow updating manga, and sadly the author Kentaro Miura had passed away in 2021. It's hard to say whether Berserk will go back into publication. From what I've read, it seems it will, but the problem comes in is the soul of the story still there, is what Kentaro wanted there. That's the only thing I'm a bit concerned about. If it goes back into production, then it's good. I'd love to see it, but we just don't know. As of right now, it has been in production since 1989, and we don't know if it's ending here, but I would still highly suggest anyone to read the manga and experience the story for yourself. So if you take away anything, I suggest you just read Berserk and enjoy the story, and hopefully you can take away something from the story.